My hair looks incredibly gray. Like, because the white light. Man, this is what I'm going to look like in about 5 years.
This is what I might look like in 5 years.
There's not a lot of good news in the world, is there?
No.
Okay, there's not. But there sometimes good news does happen nonetheless. All right. Would you like to hear what is some of the best news I've heard since I've moved to Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, where'd it go? I just had it here a second ago. Oh, hang on. Let me look it up. Sorry. I thought I had it here. Let me start by asking you this. Do you know what the Chicago Reader is?
Yeah, it's a newspaper. I think it comes out a couple times a week, maybe.
Where?
You mean in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And what is the purpose of, or was the purpose of the Chicago Reader in its original form?
Sure, it was to update people on current events, list things that are happening over the week and weekend.
Right, pre-internet. So every major city had one of these publications.
Yeah.
Now, their goal was to advertise about events and bars and restaurants and concerts and all that. Did they have an editorial or opinion piece in there, or a segment to the Chicago Reader? Did they write articles, or did they just say, hey, here's some happy stuff going on?
This did shift over time, but
It did?
yeah.
Oh, what happened?
It got more and more opinionated.
Oh,
yeah.
So the only reason a publication like that exists is to inform people of the social activities in a town, but almost as if leftists was it leftist or rightist in its political bias?
I don't have to answer that question.
So even though here's the money-making operation, and I would assume also with City Pages, or not City Pages, the Chicago Reader back pages, was that part of it too, where the sex ads and the want ads were in the back?
Yeah, they eventually outlawed those. But yeah, there was a back pages for a while.
All right, so this is classic socialism. There's the two real economic drivers of value. The real economic production is advertising, social activities, and other social activities. But then some worthless, talentless hacks who couldn't even get a job as a journalist in like some dying rag like Time magazine, they all ended up working for this. Well, you have the Chicago Reader. Guess what we have in Minneapolis?
Twin Cities, I don't know.
City Pages.
City Pages?
It's edgy. City Pages.
Ooh, edgy.
Well, they don't anymore.
Oh, they get shut down?
Twin Cities alt weekly City Pages closes after 41 years. Oh,
How sad.
That's so sad. So I'm not going to be yelled at anymore for working harder than other people, not committing crime, not doing stupid things, not having kids I can't afford, being white, being male, or as we say, peen-eyed person. So, and I remember like the Star Tribune, which ended up buying, that was the main paper in the Twins or Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
The Star Tribune was already anti-producer citizen. They were pro-parasite citizen. The City Pages was gutter punk trash. I mean, just like cancer. Just cancer with herpes on top of it. That's what it was. So, and if you couldn't hack it at the Star Tribune or even like the Minnesota Daily, which was the college paper, these group of degenerate scumbags would hire you to write papers on why you were entitled to other people's money.
Yeah.
So here we go. City Pages, an alternative newspaper and cultural bellwether for decades, is closing. The Star Tribune announced Wednesday it was already covering the same Marxist leftist slop the City Pages had and didn't see a reason to repeat itself. I didn't add that. I did add that. It was ending the publication of the City Pages alternative newspaper. A release from the Star Tribune says this week's print edition for the alt weekly would be the last. Castle said she was grateful for all the readers that have supported City Pages. It wasn't readers. It was advertisers and sponsors that did. The company said that the COVID-19 shutdowns had cut into ad revenue and made the freely distributed publication financially unviable, and that about 30 people lose their jobs. You know what also probably made it unviable?
The fact that they had nothing good to talk about.
It would be the internet. I think that may, but yeah. and then about 30 people will lose their jobs with the closure. How much you want to bet these 30 people are not right-wing, leaning, productive American type, Republican types?
I'd be willing to put a sizable portion.
You think they got one libertarian like, let's give the liberty?
It's hard to imagine.
I don't know.
Chicago Reader certainly didn't.
Editor Emily Castle said City Page's finances were actually looking up until the pandemic crippled the music and arts scene. Oh, that's what. Okay, I can see that.
The pandemic.
Yeah, that was a core to much of the alternative media around the country. We're seeing a lot of long-standing mainstream media organizations failing, and I think that will rise up in their place is a whole different kind. Could not one person run this? I'm just like, hey, we'll give you ads. And we'll hey, everybody send in your free, because people at Huffington Post write for free.
Yeah.
Because they're unemployable.
Of course.
Yeah, there's this flooded market. One guy does the graphic editing, you don't print it off or nothing. It's all digital. And hey, this is what's going on. There shouldn't be a lot of overhead with that. But Castle said she's grateful for all the readers. The Page debuted as a monthly in 1979. What do you know about the 70s?
Well, the 70s were, I wasn't around then.
Okay. Nothing good.
Yeah, nothing
came out
good.
Of the 70s. Nothing good, including me. Nothing good came out of the 70s. Then called Sweet Potato, it took its current name in 1981 and moved up to weekly publication, known for irreverence, partisanships, and sometimes hard-hitting journalism. There was not ever
hard-hitting.
There was no. Those guys over there got more than us. Give it to me. That was literally its entire existence.
It's not hard-hitting.
It's I don't know what. Remember Air America Radio?
I do actually.
And then they didn't last too long. It's well, yeah, you're center left. That's called the mainstream media. Yeah. This was it. Its annual best of issue and pick to click award proved touchstones of Twin Cities culture. The 41-year-old City Pages has endured a long-term slump in printed media and repeated changes in ownership. The Star Tribune bought the newspaper in 2015. I'm so not sad to see these hate-filled, jealous, envious, petty people go. I think they'll go work for blogs.
Reminds me of that time, I can't remember how long ago this was, but all these lefty, bloggers, journalists, they got laid off some of these websites.
Like BuzzFeed.
Yeah, like BuzzFeed. Yeah, and then you remember the whole joke was, learn the code, and then Twitter banned that hashtag.
Oh, did they ban it?
Yeah, because they were getting harassed. These people, right-wingers were just making fun of them, learn the code, and they just got rid of it.
God, it's so sad. What are all these journalism majors going to do?
Live at home?
I guess they're going to live at home. Wait, aren't they already, though, because they don't get paid enough to live?
So their life won't materially change, probably.
It probably won't. Do you think they'll wake up and say, maybe I should reflect upon my career choices and my educational choices and maybe learn to code and become accountants or produce things that people want?
Has that ever happened in history?
No. Do you think any of them will switch to the OnlyFans?
Probably some.
Wait.
Well, they're not good looking.
We're talking City Pages. No, it wouldn't happen.
Well, I'll specify. They may try to do that, but nobody will want to look at them.
It's if you guys want, go look up some old articles of the City Pages. See just how anti-American, hate-filled, jealous, petty, envious, and parasitic, above all else parasitic they were, and how they were perfectly fine advocating enslaving other people to pay for other people's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice joy celebration. And this is like the 40th body of a Twin Cities institution that's collapsed now that we're dancing on. And I just love it. How long have I been telling people you don't invest in communist cities? You can keep it up. But then inevitably it is going to collapse.
Of course.
Look at all these super chats. See,
wow!
I've
never seen it from this.
This is what it's like being a fans only girl or OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Is it fans only or OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. Wow.
Swaloo Blue for $2. Nothing.
That's
thank you, Swaloo.
Yeah.
He's a regular now. David 128 for $5. Mr. Celery, I knew you would come through with this one. God, I'm so glad this reg is gone. Leftists have it so hard.
Oh, he must be from the Twin Cities.
I think there's a fair amount like DJ Aftershock. Oh, right here. He's the next one. DJ Aftershock is in there. Some people have lived in the Twin Cities and some people got the hell out. A DJ Aftershock, $5. That Cargill Magenti campus with the pyramid buildings is like a travesty to one's eyes. You could probably manhandle the dude bros from the EP that work there. Oh, I wonder. Okay, the McGinty campus. Cargill has several campuses in the Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've never been to the McGinty campus.
Where's
I don't know, huh?
Is that in the Twin Cities, like McGinty?
Yeah, no. Okay, Cargill, I think, is the largest privately held company in the world, and they have several campuses in the Twin Cities. And I could never work at Cargill because I'm not from Wayzata, and I'm not related to a Mark Dayton, and I never did any of the which that's like the ceremony for you to work at Cargill. But I've never been to the McGinty campus because I wouldn't know where it is.
Pyramid buildings, huh?
Yeah, I would have remembered that. But they actually are quite profitable. Maybe not. I don't know. Miguel Angel Casillas. Free stuff where? Hand the free stuff over.
Yeah.
Free stuff, you say? Tell me more. Anyone know where that's from? Larry Sycamore. This guy's new, I think. $5. What's up, fellas? Great to see you guys having some man time while contributing to GDP. This actually counts as contributing to GDP.
Certainly more than the reader ever did.
And I'm being deadly serious about this. You can verify it being a CPA. Me being an economist, I'm pretty sure that the amount of super chats we got is more GDP than the City Pages has produced in 5 years because they're losing money. See,
just by these few alone.
Just by these few alone. It's sad that a channel, dumb as this channel might be, is more profitable than the City Pages.
Wow.
I have me by myself, not in my entire life's work. In the 10 minutes I've been on the internet, I've produced more real contribution to the economy than the City Pages has well, mathematically in 4 years from an accounting standpoint.
You had a little help there too.
Okay, all right. With my CPA assistant, we should do like a comic book thing, The Economist and CPA Man.
Oh yeah.
And, capes.
It's like Biclops Man on that Simpsons episode.
Balance people's checkbooks. Let's see. David, $128, $2. I hope BuzzFeed follows suit. It's another trash piece. But here's David. Like BuzzFeed and Vice, they're rags. Like, do you guys take People Magazine seriously? Do you they're so ruined? And for example, I think it was Vice that did a piece on me where they had two hip, cool millennial kids doing a video about my Mad Max.
Oh, this was several
years ago. Well, I looked up those kids. I finally found out who they were. Guess who has easily 3 times the amount of followers on Twitter than they do?
Do they even have followers?
No, they got. I think one had some. What? Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
This is GDP contribution time.
Gotcha.
The contribution to the GDP does not cease because pieces of tail call me. Yeah. And this is the point I'm trying to make to Dave about BuzzFeed. These are like the Huffington Post. Everybody go to the Huffington Post. Just click through the articles, find the authors or the authoresses, the female author's name. Click on them, look them up. They're all nobodies. All right. This isn't to be a dick comparing competition on who has the largest social media following. My point has always been that if you work in media, you work for a large company like BuzzFeed or Huffington Post, you should have a lot more followers. And what you realize is that all it is a brand name. These are no name rags. No one cares about these people. No one, oh my gosh, Bip Johnson wrote an article for BuzzFeed. I always follow Bip. It's like these are nobodies and they go nowhere and they're not getting paid.
I think Huffington Post is actually the worst of all of them.
That don't pay?
That don't pay and they have the worst articles and characters.
Well, but it's and that's why it's like, oh my God, did you see what somebody said about you on the internet? I'm like, no, and I don't really care. Let me guess, it was bad, and I was an Ister and ism, and I said hurtful things, and
it wasn't to commend you on your piece.
No, but here's another thing let's think about this, Dave. Let's think about kind of a sanity as a future of wealth, kind of an enjoy the decline angle. How happy do you think these people were writing for City Pages?
Well, see, that's a double. I'm not sure because some of them actually thought they were making a difference, so they may have been happy. But then others may be more aware of the actual reality of this.
Who's president now, or at least for a couple more months? Like in other words, all these people, like I'm imagining the old city pages, the old man who worked there from the beginning. You know, he was like this washed up hippie. Disco was going out of fashion. People were getting jobs. Reagan came along. And this is like the last, he didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like Trump's the president. I mean, like that's got to, like nothing they did worked.
It's like, it's the image that always comes to mind is that screamer like during the inauguration that went, no.
And so it's kind of the same thing with BuzzFeed. It's like they're not gonna. They're all. Who were the two guys that brought down Nixon? They even made a movie about it with Dustin Hoffman. The two journalists. You know who I'm talking about?
I do. I just forgot their names.
Every journalist, starting from the boomers on, every journalism major thought they were going to be like that, and it's like no, those guys had journalistic integrity.
And now it's what, for clicks and shock value?
Yeah, it's for clicks. It's usually for money, or it's for a political agenda, which means you're not a journalist.
Yeah,
you're an editorial. You're an author, maybe. But I mean, how old does we deserve other people's money? I mean, how old does that? How many ways can you slice that cantaloupe? DJ Aftershock for another $5, dude. Man, my dad dating the 7th is funny me to write. Me and my sisters are juvenile social workers, and we are good people because we work with the youths. The youths. You know what? He should have thrown in that they also have their art being displayed at the Walker Art Center because Granddaddy Dayton paid to have their art. You made a donation.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to the Walker Art Center?
No.
You're not missing anything.
No.
This pen is more artistic than anything at the Walker Art Center
because it can be productive in some way.
Well, there's some. You just have to go to the Walker Art Center, and actually you don't. When are they going to burn that down?
Wow.
Yeah, look at this. See, people now they know that you're here.
Oh my goodness.
We got to go through these quickly. Our good buddy Nonstop Dre, $2. But what about giving back to the community? He's on his back to the community kick.
Didn't he text that yesterday?
Yeah, he always does. Yeah, but that's Dre. You know, he's on that. Soon he'll be. Well, what about the children? We got to give back to the community.
Somebody think of the children.
Nonstop Dre. You know what's hard hitting? Communism.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
They just haven't done it right, Dre. They just haven't done it right. Oh, Persian King, he's back. $7.99. Oh, girl, I like you lots. Can I please smell your farts? Aaron Celery, poems on how to get the girls high school edition. They weren't much worse than that.
Yeah, it's probably more thought into that than the ones.
Well, yeah, the ones. No, it's I like you, babe. I like you lots. It's for you. I got the hots.
Oh,
let's go out or something like that. You know where poetry gets you?
I actually know someone who majored in it and got nothing.
Well, I mean, with the girls. Metal Madness for $2. Aaron, for 5'6" male, how much should you weigh? For 5'6"? Well, you're 5'7", 5'8"?
Ish, yeah.
Well, someone should weigh more than you. What are you, $130 now? $135?
$140.
$140. Yeah, $140.
Probably more than me. Yeah,
$145. Also depends on your frame. I'm a $148. I got a smaller frame. I'm 5'9". But yeah, 145.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're muscular, 150, 155. I guess not above one. Yeah, definitely not above 160 unless you're like
for 5'6". Yeah,
5'6". Nonstop Dre for $2. By the way, this laptop I bought for used for $40.
This?
Yeah, and that very expensive Logitech webcam is like $50. This is my same microphone. I just wanted to point out that I already have 100% return on investment today based on the number of super chats we got.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is more than?
More than anybody from those rags.
That's 100% more than the ROI of the city pages.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Especially now.
Yeah. Nonstop Dre, $362. There's a sex worker school. I emailed you the article. Okay, Dre. Yeah, I'll look it up. Make sure I read it. I'll be doing that on a podcast. This isn't a podcast.
Let me read this one.
Yeah.
Larry Sycamore for $2. Chad, you're way too dressed down for Clary. You should have seen me about 20 minutes ago when I had a suit on.
Why'd you take it off?
I didn't know we were going to do this.
Well, neither did I until I heard the good news. My Jewish agent in the field, who's full Jew, not quarter Jew like me, she sent this to me. And she's female, she's Jewish, and she is not a Marxist.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So she is a unicorn.
She's single.
Oh,
Although she will like talk to you a lot.
ain't
very
got
loudly.
time
Hang
for
on.
that.
There we go. DJ Aftershock, $2. You saw the U of M offering whiteness seminars. Yeah, the gal who was offering them it's sad. Okay, here's another DJ. Let's talk about all these people on BuzzFeed, all the people at the city pages. They do basically hate-filled things, anti-American things, anti-white things in this particular case. If you look these people up, you'll see they're losers. And the gal that was hosting it is like, her professional site is not updated at all. It's crap. The blog posts are 3 years old. And now she's going to do the best thing to happen was this for her. But I have a feeling she's going to maybe get a couple hundred self-loathing white women from Edina to attend. And then she's going to go back to her crappy life. Look up the gal, go to her LinkedIn, look up who she is. It's a nobody. And good for her. She did anti-whiteness seminars. Hooray. I mean, if this is what your life choices have resulted in, the best use of your time is to do whiteness seminars. What does she go home to? Would you want to trade places with her?
It's a good thing to always ask yourself.
Yeah. Well, who's going to date her?
Not a human being.
Well, not a strong guy. All right, DJ Aftershock. University of Minnesota, how to recover from whiteness.
Recover? God.
I don't know. You know what? All of you taking that, maybe you should kill yourself, then you recover from it. I'm just saying, you'll recover. You'll end your whiteness. But some tells you they're not going to do it. You know what, everybody? Go donate your money. Go donate your money to whatever oppressed group. If you're feeling guilty, you can always donate to charity.
Nothing?
See Mix Jiggy
No
for
message.
$5. It's $5. You guys can leave a message for $5. Nonstop trade $2. But my professor says BuzzFeed is a valid source. Yes,
Yeah.
your professor's do you know that studies show and research suggests anything you want it to?
I can imagine there's lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Or the University of Minnesota Liberal Arts Department. Miguel Angel Casillas for $5. Thinking about pulling some 401k funds out under the COVID-19 non-penalty clause. I'm waiting for that Operation Evil random link cough Kickstarter account. No, Miguel, it's
No.
all Operation Evil is just a one-man show. There's no. The problem in taking outside investment, which I really don't need.
He's probably kidding. Hopefully,
Maybe he's kidding. Yeah.
you still have to pay taxes on that income, just so you know.
Right, and you would also. That would then make the company publicly known. And the whole point of Operation Evil, once again, is to tell people lies they want to hear. But if they say, oh, this guy's telling me lies that I want to hear, they won't buy it. It has to be under the falsehood or the veneer that you're telling them the truth and that nothing is their fault.
That's really funny.
And that's what.
Aaron Clary loves
Hey,
HR.
this guy. All college professors should be given a shovel in their hands and forced to do a real hard day's work. These losers can't even dig a hole. No, they can't. They can't. Mitchell, Christ Superstar for $10 generous. Thank you, Mitchell. Betcha economics changed my life. Navy guy, no debt, and cut down the tree in my front yard. You cut down the tree in your front yard. St. Clary, thank you. Oh, I wonder if it's because, remember how I talked about how I had the tree in my front yard at my first rental property place, and I had to rake it, like it took 3 days to rake because there were so many leaves.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Oh, maybe that. I'm assuming, I'm hoping that. Well, thank you, Mitchell. Always good to hear from a sailor.
Bacon.
Oh, is Bacon in?
Yeah,
Oh, Bacon for
Bacon.
$5.56. So our new segment called Rock Revival Review. Just did the second edition and put it up last night. We're at YouTube, by the way. Also, Dude Bro, 6 Figs. We're over in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. I got an Airbnb where I could do some riding, but we didn't get any riding done. We visited Doc Perodin. We visited my dad. I got to see all of Wisconsin that you didn't want to see before.
Hung out with a classmate of mine
buddy
from
of
grad
yours,
school
yeah.
who has his own private plane, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody can find Bacon at thegoddamnbacon.com. And did you know Bacon was half black?
Really?
God, we can't be friends with him anymore. We can only be the half of the friends with him.
How am I only finding out about this now?
Did you meet him one time?
No.
You haven't? Oh, I met him. Yeah.
I know. But we've done streams where I saw.
Oh, yeah, he's as goofy as he sounds. Yeah. But anyway, you guys can find him at thegoddamnbacon.com. The Persian King for $2 Australian, 5'6", 200 pounds, not very fat, should be around 145.
200 pounds?
200 pounds is huge, dude. That's morbidly obese at 5'6". Should be around 145. Yeah, that's about right.
Could be all muscle.
Oh, no, 200?
No chance.
You'd have to be like one of those.
He-Man.
Yeah. Look at all this money I'm making.
Should I read this one?
Please do.
Metal Madness for $2. Chad, do you do consulting on the side? I'm considering accounting. I do, but as I was telling somebody earlier, you got to bring a little bit more to the table than just wanting to do accounting consulting. You got to be able to back it up.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this just keeps coming in.
Wow, what time is it?
Metal Madness. Why would you do that? You should just become a podcaster and get the super chats like this.
If you think you'd like accounting, yeah, do it.
Did you know, Mad, for $2 Canadian? Did your ROI book help Chad get a girlfriend? Polling for no, the ROI book was supposed to be being written this week, but I haven't gotten to it because I had to do all these interviews and promote the minimalism seminar. But after I drop you off tomorrow, then I'm gonna have like 48 hours to write. So hopefully I'll get through most of that. I even relaxed on this trip a little bit. M2PG4 for $2. Keep 6 feet away from Chad. You can get sick, brah. Yeah, that's. This is going to go down in history as the dumbest hoax ever.
Really?
Yeah. Not to say it doesn't exist, but they're going to be like, we didn't need to spend $4 trillion and shave off half the GDP of the globe to do this.
So the other day I took an Amtrak train here from Chicago, and there's really nobody on the whole freaking train. And I asked the conductor, I'm like, has this been going on for a while? He's like, yeah, nobody will come on here anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to go on the train.
Now is the time. Dirt cheap, and there's hardly any people.
Yeah, maybe I'll get the...
Well, it did break down.
Yeah. Well, it was Amtrak. C Mix Jicky for $5. Does the minimalist invest in Just for Men, your favorite soul dissenting Asian doctor?
Is that a hair replacement thing, just for men?
Does the minimalist invest just for men? I don't know. I guess if you're balding, you should shave it. But if you can, like, I think the earlier you intervene, the better. I don't know. I guess it's your money. Like, the level of minimalism I advocate is not starvation. Like, if you can save your hair, go ahead and save it, because it'll probably save you money on the other end of trying to chase down girls or mate searching costs. So you have to think about what the total cash inflows and outflows are going to be. But my main form of minimalism is not buying fancy cars, not getting worthless degrees, not going to overpriced schools, going to school online, cheap places to rent, very minimal ownership of things, low square footage. Eat at home, that kind of stuff. And that's like 90% of it.
It's frankly common sense, a lot of it.
It's common sense, but as it is in my minimalism seminar or course, as John wants me to call it, it's like, it's really easy to quit smoking.
Yeah.
It's really easy to quit drinking.
Yeah.
And by the way, women should just lose weight like that. You know what? I got an idea. Let's tell the women of America to lose weight, and tomorrow they will, because it's just that easy.
They love being told what to do.
Yes.
They love doing work to do.
They love doing the work.
Thing.
Yeah. So no, it's easier said than done, and that's where I tried to get to I make the dunning easier in that seminar. Are we caught up?
Ooh.
No.
Metal
Madness again. He's being very generous.
Yeah, I'll read that one too. I think I saw my name.
Okay.
Or that one first. Okay, Dylan Doe for $4.99. Delaware versus Nevada LLC for intellectual property based company. I'm in Southwest Florida. Dude, just get a Florida one. Like, Florida is a good state to have an LLC. Don't go through all the trouble of having to register a foreign corporation. Just do Florida.
Metal
Madness for $5. Well, thank you, Aaron and Chad. I'm down to 155, down from 172. Chad, I will contact you. There's a little more to my predicament. Thank you, guys. Yeah, shoot me an email. I may not be able to get for a little while, but yeah.
And shoot you an email, and he should be expected to.
We just had this discussion.
Yes.
I must charge you.
You must charge people for your time. And so Metal Madness expect to pay. It's not that we're being dicks. What did you do for half an hour on Highway 51?
Was it 50? So a client had contacted me via email with a bunch of questions. And I was a little bit too much of a nice guy. And I said, hey, let's talk about this. Because I was just sitting in the car and doing nothing else. And we had a nice 20-minute conversation. And so Claire and I had a discussion. It's like, you probably should be charging all the time when that happens. And I don't even disagree. It's just, Because
what was funny is, what were you just complaining about before you called her?
I was just saying I'm sick and tired of getting emails.
Right.
So yeah, I'll have to just charge for stuff like that.
You don't have to charge a lot.
Just some.
Just some.
Yeah.
So you're not so angry. And that's a rule for everybody else out there. Like, charge for your time. You know what you should do on your dating app? It's like, I charge for my time. If you want to meet me, it's $50 for coffee, $100 for
You realize
dinner.
women do that.
What?
Yeah.
Like, not on the seeking arrangement? You mean like
on these apps? Some of them will put their Venmo or their Cash App names, and it'll say something like, you must donate to play this game or some crap like that. This is not an exaggeration. People who talk about that are not kidding. It's disgusting.
You should do it. That'd be so ballsy.
Just to do it.
Yeah, just to do it the opposite. Like, you got to take me out and
imagine the hate messages I would get.
So what?
Which draws attention in a good way.
Which draws attention.
You stand out.
Where's being a nice guy gotten you?
It leads me to have a 20-minute conversation
For free.
on the highway that I really didn't want to have.
Right.
So yeah.
Persian King, 1374 for $8 Australian. Not obese, was ripped at 170, but still couldn't get the girl sub because of height. Oh, as you all know, all too. Yes, that is true.
It makes it harder, but you can make it work.
You can. I'm still of the philosophy and opinion. You can get them. You can rarely keep them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that height. That's like it's like menopause or wait for women. It's a hard no for a lot of those gals. We could get upset about it, but it's pointless to be upset because women want tall guys. It's their preference.
Was it Rich Cooper or Donovan Sharp that said, "Gentlemen, she's never yours. It's just your turn"?
Oh, they've been. Yeah, I don't know who came up with it. But yeah,
Rolo.
that's a regular comment.
Yeah.
But wait, preference is bad. Women have a preference for taller men.
As we were saying,
that's a
at dinner.
pejorative.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Did you know that men are allowed to have preferences? Because I don't think.
No, that's sexist.
They know that. Yeah. I think there was one more. Yeah.
Jason Riley.
$5 Canadian. I always get the Canadian ones. Chad, you got to ditch this sidekick and start your own show. Just kidding. Have a great evening, fellas. P.S. Any predictions for Tuesday's election? I have no idea.
I have none. No, I haven't paid attention. I know it's up in the air. I do not listen to the mainstream media at all because they so botched up the Hillary thing. Yeah, it could be anyone's game. I'm more curious about the governor elections because I think that'll be a referendum on this COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
Or overreach. Overreach. That's like probably the best word for it.
Might be it.
Hang on. Boop-a-doo, that's it. Look at that. I think we made journalistic history.
Jeez. All on a whim. Like
all on a whim, right. But look what we're all part of right now. We have been more profitable in 20 minutes than the City Pages had been in 4 years. That's an amazing amount of level of production. And unlike the City Pages, the advice we give here actually helps people. Because why?
Because it's honest.
And it's
true.
True. So you know how well that's going to sell?
Well, it won't sell in public,
right,
but
no. I wonder if there was any dating advice columns. Like if we went and grabbed some old City Pages.
No, they'll just like kick you off the internet if you ever tell it like it is.
All right, take us out appropriately.